most people are probably loyal to a brand of toilet paper. Can we see a show of hands of who's loyal to toilet paper? No, I don't want to do that. Because I think there is a video camera running. If you are loyal to toilet paper, that's great, right? Most people are. Have you ever recommended it to anybody? Probably not, right? There are a lot of times that you won't recommend something, whether it's a product, an industry, whether it's, because when we recommend something, we're putting ourselves out there. We're putting ourselves out there and saying, we're endorsing and supporting this. And what's interesting is sometimes people recommend things they've had no experience with because it's the hot item, right? So you may say, I've never been there, I've never driven that car, I've never bought that product, but boy, I've read about it, it's a hot thing, I'm going to recommend it to somebody else. In some cases, we're incredibly loyal to a company or a product and we don't recommend it because we don't want people to know where we're doing business, because it's just something we think is personal. Sometimes it's because we don't want them to have the same advantage of that information and content that we do. And sometimes it's just because, for whatever reason, they don't want to say it, right? So the challenge is we don't want to use recommendation as a proxy for other things. We don't want to use it for a proxy for negative word of mouth. We don't want to use it as a proxy for satisfaction. It is likelihood to recommend is a great question to understand positive word of mouth. We've been asking it before NPS was developed. We have 99 million completed surveys that have the question in it, how likely you recommend this to somebody else. So use it for what it's worth, use it for what it's meant for, to measure positive word of mouth.
In today's world, companies are not bound by location anymore, right? We can buy product from China and have it shipped right to our door. We can watch a broadcast of a news station across the country or read a newspaper from across the country or across the world. Retailers were no longer bound by the folks in our neighborhoods. So the bounds have gone away, and it's just introduced a ton more competitors and made every step of that process of doing business more competitive. And not only do they have more choices in who they do business with, but they have more choices in the channels that they use, which can throw a real wrench into the analytics that you're running on your sites and in your call centers and in your business today. Because not only are they multi-channel, they're also multi-device consumers. They're accessing you from their computer at work, their computer at home, their tablet, their phone, their second home computer, soon to be from their entertainment system. And often they're not logging in and you don't know that they're the same person. So it's really complicated how we look at the customer experience and understand it. The bottom line to all of this is that it's lowered the switching costs for consumers a great deal and put consumers in control of the experience. No longer is the company in control able to dictate how we do business. Now the consumer has the power.
We did this with 1.5 million people. We wanted to make sure that this worked every way we looked at it, from the left, from the right, from the top, from the bottom, inside, outside, all over. And the results were remarkable. What we found is that on average, NPS overstates the true detractors by 260 to 270%. In other words, if I look at the numbers of people that would be considered detractors with NPS, and I compare that to the number of people that are saying on a 9 or 10 that their likelihood to discourage someone else from doing business with this company, what we would call a true detractor, that's a 260% overstatement of the detractors in NPS. That's a big, big mistake. And some companies were 1,000%. The thing to remember, and this is becoming very, very true, is that the customer experience is no longer about what you're doing on the web or how well your mobile sites are working or even the phrases that we're using now, multi-channel, omni-channel, merge channel. And really, I don't think it ever was. Now, it was in companies' minds, right? Oh, here's our website. We're going to really focus on our website. We're going to do a great job. And over here is the mobile team, and they're really doing a great job. From a consumer's perspective, it was always about one company and one brand. They don't see mobile different from contact center and contact center different from live chat and live chat different from the web. They see one company, one brand. And we were talking about this at dinner last night, how many mistakes companies make by sub-optimizing. So we think, as you continue to move forward, realize and embrace the fact that consumers look at your organization as a brand, as a company, not as a bunch of separate channels.
4 companies that were part of the study that we did. Apple, 12% detractors according to NPS. when in fact only 1% were likely to discourage others from doing business with Apple. Apple had a policy that they've publicly stated that their store managers are going to reach out and contact every one of those detractors because they've embraced NPS. And in fact, they're now going to contact 12 times more people than they need to. A store manager making $40,000 to $80,000 a year is going to be wasting most of his time by contacting these people he doesn't need to. At Nike, we see a 700% overstatement in those detractors. Only 2% are actually likely to discourage others from doing business with the company. And it's not all that surprising that a lot of people aren't going to recommend it. They're happy, they're satisfied, they're loyal. It's just not in their personality. VW, HSBC, across all industries, we see similar data, similar results. The number of people that are non-recommenders, that are NPS detractors, are not the number of people, are not the same people that are actually going to discourage others from doing business with your company or negative word of mouth. So by bringing word of mouth index together with NPS, we get better metrics. We get better data. We get more accuracy, more precision, more reliability, and more actionability so we can do something with it as marketers.